Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Projection Room. I'm Jack. He's having a drink. We'll start again in a minute. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Projection Room. I'm Jack.
I'm Gaz.
This week. Why do I say this week? Why was always week?
Because it is this week.
Mate, yeah. Today's episode. We are doing Spider-Man: Brand New Day. We've just come out of the cinema, not literally. We've saw it today, and yes, we're going to do a non-spoiler review followed by some news and listing of all the Spider-Man films, as you can see. Well, hopefully you can see. And then we're going to do the spoiler review.
Yep.
So yeah, should we just jump right into it then?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So what are your positives? Because you always seem to enjoy things more than me.
Yeah, I'm not a miserable bastard. Firstly, my score's 8 out of 10.
Okay.
I thoroughly enjoyed this one. This is the first Spider-Man movie in the MCU where I felt like it sounds weird in my analogy, but I'll explain a bit more later. It felt like a Spider-Man movie. Like we've had so many films within the MCU where he's in the Avengers or this trilogy. The original trilogy was sort of people knowing he was Spider-Man, which was a very weird thing to see. And this is the first time where nobody knows who he is. He's just your typical friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. That's exactly what Spider-Man's all about. So actually seeing him doing the little things where saving, stopping a robbery or fighting crime on a ground level scale, not these big, existential.
It's existential crisis, isn't it?
Existential crisis, extraterrestrial as well. Not fighting any aliens. It's just Spider-Man in the streets of New York. Yeah. Doing the little thing for the little guy. That's what it's about. And this is the first time where we see him actually a bit of an internal conflict, an internal struggle being Spider-Man, balancing the life between Peter Parker and Spider-Man.
We saw that in Homecoming, didn't we?
Yeah. No, not really. I don't think we did anyway.
He was warranted whether he was like justified for the suit or not, wasn't it?
Yeah, if he felt like he wanted to be, like, it was worthy of being Spider-Man, and in that bracket with, like, the Iron Mans and etc. But this is the first time where him not knowing anybody who Spider-Man is, and he could actually just trying to struggle to balance the life between the two. Does that make sense? Yeah,
but it's sort of like it was because of the spell, wasn't it? That's why nobody knows.
Yes, this takes place 4 years after No Way Home. MJ and Ned have done MIT, they've done their version of university, and Peter's just still balancing the life of being Spider-Man and being Peter Parker. Actually seeing him develop his own tech for a change and having to, sort his costume out, and it's sort of like being Spider-Man, but then still trying to live your daily life on a story. That's what Spider-Man was about, and I loved that aspect of it. It kind of gave me sort of a bit of a homage to the Raimi trilogy a little bit, and it was just nice to see. And also, I think with him being in the MCU, interacting with characters who we've seen before, and it was just a great dynamic to see on screen. So I came out of it thoroughly enjoying it. I had some good laughs. I think the comedic side of things was well placed. So I know some MCU movies struggle to balance between the serious tone and sort of the comedy. I think this struck a well balance between the two. And I think I don't know if you were producers or people working on the film were very inspired by the Insomniac games, because there was some special moves. There was kind of like little power-up technology that he used throughout the film. I think there was a lot of inspiration for this one, and I think I took a lot more out of it in a positive way than what I did for the first few films of Tom Holland's trilogy.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. I think I agree. I haven't actually rated it yet, but I think I'm leaning towards a 7. I think I did enjoy this movie, but it's strange. Like I was trying to get across to you in the car, but you kept freaking laughing. There's this big grandeur of characters, right?
Yeah, I'm over it now.
Yeah, there's big characters in this. There's obviously the Hulk and Punisher.
That's not spoilers. They're in the trailer.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
In fact, Hulk's in the marketing.
Yeah. So it was strange, really, because it's like this big. You got a lot of characters in there, but yeah, it still to me felt like small. I don't really.
Scale, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't really know how to word it properly. But whoops again. Yeah, I think I don't know. It's a strange one, really. Like I don't know. It's almost like we've sort of seen this before. I think, like I mentioned with Homecoming, like that internal struggle of being Spider-Man and Peter Parker, whether he's worthy of it and whatever. Yeah, I think we've seen that angle before. I don't know whether, well, obviously, like it's true that they need to use the Spider-Man license every couple of years, every so many years, isn't it? So I'm not saying like, oh, that's the only reason why they've done it. Obviously not. Yeah, it was a strange one, but overall, like I did have a good time with it. I did think it was predictable. Would you say it's a bit predictable?
I think towards the third act, I'll probably go with that. We can delve that more into
Yeah.
that in spoilers.
Yeah, it was cool to see Peter Parker and Punisher.
Fantastic, which they've done in the comics, so it's nice to
Yeah.
see it on live action. You know, so.
Yeah, it's a bit strange. You could tell they couldn't obviously go full blown Punisher, like,
No.
you know, with all the stuff that he does and he says and whatever.
But that's actually one of my main criticisms of the film is that if you're going to include Punisher, you either got to go like Daredevil, Netflix Daredevil sort of Punisher, or you have to sort of MCUify him a little bit,
I think they did.
which I think they did. So is that one? I'm not gonna say it was disappointing. I would just like to have seen like more of their morals, a bit like what Punisher had with Daredevil in the. I know you haven't seen Born Again, but there's a fantastic scene with them and their ideologies and why they should put, like, he believes they should put people down, where Spider-Man doesn't.
So where's Daredevil?
Spoilers. We're talking about spoilers.
Yeah. Obviously, I haven't watched any of the recent Daredevils or whatever, but yeah, it's a bit of it's a bit random inclusion really to have the Punisher in this. It's almost like they have a plethora of characters and they just randomly like put all their names in the hat and then they'd be, oh yeah, Punisher, you know.
Yeah.
And like with the Hulk, I don't really think the Hulk served a massive purpose. Well, his only purpose was solely a plot device.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Personally,
I was waiting to stop you then because I thought you were going to spoil it. But
no.
Yeah. It was, in fairness, that criticism I understand because, yeah, you couldn't do that without including the Hulk. But in the same breath, I was happy to see him.
Yeah.
I was happy to see Hulk, and
it's nice to see him.
We mentioned this. I mean, this is a non-spoiler. This isn't a non-spoiler. Sorry, this is a non-spoiler. Sorry. It was nice to see the Hulk. I love the Hulk. He's one of my favorite Marvel characters.
I think he is your favorite. Isn't he?
He is my favorite. Yeah. And it frustrates me more that we've had Red Hulk in Captain America: Brave New World, and now we've had him in Brand New Day. Just give him a solo movie, Marvel, Kevin Feige. For honest to God, if you keep including them in side projects, just give them their own movie.
Yeah.
But you've now got the foundation to make a Hulk movie with the villain being Red Hulk.
So I'm just going to look up. I'm with you at that point I made in the car.
Yeah.
Basically, I read somewhere that they can't make a Hulk film due to distribution rights because he owns. But I think Hulk is owned by Universal, so I'm just going to make sure that fact's right for.
Check that fact. Well, if that's the case, then I think it's poor that you make a deal with Sony for Spider-Man, which again I can understand because Spider-Man is a global market thing. You know, of course, you're going to make billions of dollars, whether it be films, merchandise, etc. Hulk probably won't make that much, but if you're including him in Avengers movies and adding him in characters into other films, why can't you just make your own?
So I got it here. So Marvel Studios cannot make a solo Hulk film because Universal Pictures still holds the theatrical distribution rights for any standalone Hulk movie. So Marvel and Disney fully own the creative and production rights to the Hulk character. Universal retains the right of the first refusal to distribute any standalone Hulk film, meaning Marvel cannot release a solo movie without Universal taking a major cut of box office profits. So Disney does not want to finance and produce a multi-million-dollar blockbuster only to hand it over a large share of the revenue and distribution control to a rival studio.
Well, that's selfish from Universal, but then surely that's all the same thing they did with Sony, with Spider-Man. They made a deal. Surely they can get some of their heads on the table and say, look.
There's loads of Hulk films they can do.
You could make loads. I mean, I know they did it with Thor. They gave a bit of elements of, Planet Hulk. But you can easily do World War Hulk, where he literally, clues in the title, the Hulk creates his own army of Hulks from a different planet, and they come. It would be a fantastic. You know what? That'd be an Avenger level threat. You can do Avengers World War Hulk. Like, come on, there's a money market for it.
Yeah, but especially in this film, the way that they portray Hulk, it's like he's going back to his roots, which I loved.
I hate Smart Hulk. He was the worst.
The best in Endgame.
In Endgame was Smart Hulk, and what was the other project? I never watched She-Hulk. I refused to watch it.
Oh God,
I know some people defend it. I know Hack Guy from the Escape Pod podcast. I know he's quite a defender of She-Hulk, but I can't comment because I haven't watched it. But I don't feel like I want to watch it.
Someone's got to defend it. So sorry. Just the last little bit on that. So the restriction only applies to solo or standalone movies where the Hulk is the main character. Because of this loophole, Marvel is completely free to feature the Hulk as a co-lead or supporting character in team-up films like The Avengers or Thor without involving.
That's really. I personally think that's really stupid of Universal. So you're saying that they can't make your own solo Hulk movie because then they'll get 100%. but yet they've allowed Marvel to make him a side character, and then Marvel retain 100% of the profits, and Universal get nothing. Surely they go back to the table and go, "Oh, well, if you're going to include Hulk in any future project, we would like a bit of percentage of the stake." Or, sorry, you go back to the meeting room and go, "Look, make a movie. Let's go 60-40, 50-50, whatever. Let's make some money out of it." Because the Hulk, there are so many good storylines you can use with the Hulk.
Yeah, and it's like you say, it's the Hulk fans and Marvel fans who are missing out. I mean, how greedy is it that like one company that doesn't want to do a set thing or another? Like, these companies are massive companies. Disney obviously own the world. Universal is a big distribution, outlet.
Yeah.
I don't see what the problem is why they couldn't go 50-50.
No, I don't.
And it affects it hasn't affected them. I think Marvel have done well, obviously, to do what they have done within their characters that they're allowed to show, which is mad in itself.
Yeah.
I think how it's Marvel and whatever. So they have done well, and they've only recently been managed to introduce like Deadpool, Spiderman, X-Men now,
Wolverine, X-Men,
into the roster of characters. So yeah, it's a strange one. But yeah, sorry, I
sidetracked by the Hulk, but you know what? It makes a good clip for TikTok.
Well, yeah, sorry, I keep interrupting you, but I just read that. I wanted just to confirm that I was right because I heard it somewhere.
It surprises me that I think if I was Universal, I'd be pissed that Marvel found a loophole.
Yeah.
And then they were like, I mean, we were very antisociable. Half the stuff nowadays is on your phone. Yeah. So I've got I read something the other day. I picked it up. So opening weekend, you're talking about the Hulk. Spider-Man Brand New Day is currently tracking for a 900 million worldwide opening weekend. It'll be the second highest of all time. And there is no doubt that Spidey is the most popular superhero in the world. And yet Universal have lost out on any sort of percentage from that. In a weekend, it's made nearly $1 billion.
I didn't think it's going to be better than the Odyssey.
It will. Yeah, it will. But then Marvel doesn't know how to make it. But then
that surprised me.
If you're Universal, if you are an executive at Universal now, you would be fuming that they've incorporated one of your characters into one of their movies, and it's nearly made $1 billion in a weekend.
And he ain't even in it that much, is he?
No, he's probably in it, 10-15 minutes, if you were to use that, roughly, including, Bruce Banner.
Yeah. That's not a spoiler, it's a Spider-Man film, obviously. It'd be a bit weird if Hulk was in it more, but yeah. No.
But, that's a great segue. So what I really liked about this is I felt that we mentioned the Punisher, we mentioned the Hulk. I think every one of them got enough screen time, enough to make it entertaining and to maybe develop the plot a bit. But it never once stopped feeling like a Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
And I think that's a major credit to the writers, because you could have easily lent too much into the Punisher, or you could have lent too much into the Hulk, but you didn't. It was just a perfect balance between where you got enough, but you never felt 1 minute that you forgot you was watching a Spider-Man film, because the core element of that film was Peter fighting these sort of instincts and fighting between his animal gene or arachnid gene, whatever it's called, and his human gene. That's sort of like a metaphor for counteracting the Spider-Man side of his life to his Peter Parker balance of life, and sort of where he wanted to be on that line. And I thought it was a very, very well written story for Spider-Man. I think it's the best out of the Tom Holland movies. No, I don't. No, I don't. I just realised. No, I don't. No, I Holmes annoying.
We'll get to that, because I was about to jump in then, Yeah.
Second. It's by far better than Home. It's far better than Far From Home.
Well, Homecoming and Far From Home. It is. Yeah. I think we know our order now for that one. But I think that's probably everybody's.
Some people put it higher than No Way Home, but I think No Way Home holds. We'll decide that for the rankings. But you know what? It's hard to go a bit more in depth in our non-spoiler review, because
it's a Marvel film.
It's a Marvel film, so we don't want to give too much away. But I think the villain of the film is not what people were expecting. I think I won't reveal it. I think Sadie Sink was a great addition. I thought she was very good in the film as well. Zendaya was your famous words from the Odyssey review on our last video. Zendaya doing Zendaya things.
Actually, I thought she was quite good in this. I thought she. So
she's good in this, or better in the Odyssey?
Well, she had more to do in this.
Well,
of course she did. She didn't have to see for like 5 minutes.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
But one thing I loved... Sorry, Jack, tell me if I'm jumping in. I think what this managed to do well was it didn't undo the consequences of No Way Home. I thought I was worried that going into it about half an hour into the film, it would just undo anything. Yeah. I don't think it's necessarily undone everything, but I do think that there are certain ways that they can sort of get it back on track that way from, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm going too much into spoilers, but I was talking a bit more about it. But I thought again, it hit the balance of everything pretty well. I'm not going to say everything was perfect, but I think for what it did and what it had to include from previous movies and to make it a Spider-Man movie, I thought it did pretty well.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think I'm leaning towards more enjoying it now, and it's difficult really because when we do a little thing on TikTok now, I'll put the handle somewhere here. It's a lot. Well, it's a lot. It's not a lot really. That's just me chatting shit. But it's difficult because it's the first thing that what did we think of this? And it takes a lot for me to process a film, especially a new film now to watch. Obviously it does for everybody. So I guess that's why we do it because we want to see how our views and opinions have changed.
Yeah.
And I think this one has changed quite drastically, as did my Odyssey one. But my Evil Dead one, I think, was quite the same.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't know if I'll watch this again at cinema.
I am.
You are?
Yeah.
But yeah, if you do, and I'll see. I'll check my calendar.
There's a 20 past 10 one tonight.
Yeah. Fucking hell, mate.
No, joking.
But, I think I am leaning towards enjoying this more than what we recorded earlier.
Your reaction.
Yeah. Is this a spoiler? I can edit this out if it is, but backtrack. We'll take that out.
Yeah, you revealed it. We cut it out. So yeah, we'll leave that to the spoilers.
Yeah,
I think there's nothing else to say. It's hard really because we want to talk spoilers. I think for what it did was, I think if you're probably hearing everybody else's review, it felt like a Spider-Man movie. It felt very grounded. New York was a character again. That's one of the best things that the Raimi trilogy did. I love the homages. I don't know if anyone can see. That probably look awful. You know what?
Pop it up to the camera.
Yeah, pop it up to the camera. Not There's a really good homage, or you can see our mic ring around it. Sorry about that. But yeah, there's a homage to that. Which was really cool. And there's a couple of issues from comics that they used as well. It's actually on the back here. Remember, look.
There's loads on the back.
Yeah, I know they used one for Scorpion, but I don't know if it's on here.
Now you mentioned it.
No, it isn't.
Disappointing. It's spoiler free. This could be.
Scorpion is in the trailer.
Yeah, so I was a bit let down with Scorpion, to be honest with you.
He wasn't in it as much as what
I know. I like Michael Mando. Michael Mando. I love him.
Excellent.
Yeah. He's an excellent actor. I think he didn't have much to do as I thought because of the marketing, and he's all over the marketing. So I thought he'd have a bigger prominence in the film than he did. It's a bit like that. Because at the end, I was just like, "Fucking hell, where's he gone?" Yeah. And I was a bit like,
again, used as a plot device for certain characters, which we'll get into spoilers. But no, I agree with that because Michael Mando's a phenomenal actor. I mean, if you don't know him, he was Vaz in the Far Cry 3 game, one of the greatest video games I've ever played. Certainly would make that argument. Yeah. Who's his character name? Nacho in Better Call Saul. Phenomenal in that. So he's a very, very talented actor. So it's a credit to him that they underutilized him a bit. He's a very talented actor. So it would have been nice to see him in a more. I would agree. That's probably one of my criticisms as well. Or negatives would be he's not in enough. But I do like the Scorpion suit. That was pretty cool.
That's for me. I want to see more of it.
Yeah, I think is that it?
Yeah, that's probably all we
can cover our non-spoilers. So I definitely would recommend Spider-Man. It's a great Spider-Man movie. Easily one of the better ones we've had. And I think without anything else to add on top of my head, if not, we'll just mention it in our spoiler section. Shall we move on to before that, wanted to talk to you about some of the San Diego Comic-Con news we've got.
Yeah.
And also I want to get your thoughts on the Avengers Doomsday trailer first. Yeah, because that was before obviously in our screening for Spider-Man Brand New Day. I saw the San Diego Comic-Con trailer when it came out, but that was the first time that you saw it.
Yeah.
With Thor attacking Doom with Stormbreaker.
Yeah.
What were your initial thoughts on the trailer?
Well, first off, I didn't want to see it.
Yeah.
But obviously,
it's a risky take.
Yeah. It's Marvel, so you're going to watch a Marvel film, obviously they're going to push that. Yeah, I just think like I've mentioned loads of times, I don't see the point in pushing and revealing too much because obviously all we need to do is Avengers Doomsday.
Bombs on seats.
Yeah. So I don't know why they keep showing us everything and all these things like, oh, here's Namor and here's like Black Panther and here's freaking Fantastic Four and they're meeting Gambit and all. It's like I don't want to see this, But based off the trailer, what would you think my predictions or or
Not necessarily your predictions, because you know what, there's so many
there's going to be
theories
those?
and all that going online,
Yeah.
and just what your initial thoughts of the film are. Because if I just to help you, so like for my initial
Yeah.
thoughts of it, when I saw, I still am apprehensive going into it. I
I
think
said
it's
to you, sorry, Toby. I said to you, like, it doesn't feel, like, obviously, like, Doomsday, it's big, and, like, the character, but it doesn't feel like there's, I don't know how to word it, like, the Avengers side of it. It feels like they're all missing.
right.
You know what I mean? Like, this team up looks like it's going to get its ass whooped.
It is set up for
Um,
failure. I think so, because it's not the Avengers that we knew with, you know, Captain America, Iron Man,
Yeah,
Hulk, Thor, you know,
yeah,
Hawkeye, you know,
Black Widow.
Scott, Black Widow, R.I.P. Yeah, it doesn't. It feels like this is set up for failure, and
Yeah, the team wise.
the team
Obviously, the
wise,
film.
yeah. But I do think there's going to be, like my thoughts are, I think it's going to be a mess. The film. I can't imagine how they're going to incorporate all these new Avengers with the old Avengers, with Fox's X-Men as well. I mean,
Big friggin' mess.
on a personal note, I love X-Men. I've rewatched the TV show growing up. I was a massive fan of the films we grew up with Hugh Jackman, Michael Madsen. You know, we are part of that nostalgia. You know, I was 5 when the first one came out. I think I watched it when I was 6 years old. So, you know, the original trilogy does hold a special place. So it was fantastic to see them all, but I just don't know how you're going to incorporate all that in a. I mean, the film's a room of runtime is 2 hours and 45 minutes.
Yeah, there.
So it's going to be a long film. So it is plenty of time for it to give everyone their flowers, as it were. Because I mean, personally, you can't have Ian McKellen's Magneto in for 2 minutes. That would not sit well with me personally. Or Patrick Stewart's Xavier, it wouldn't. Or Scott Manson Cyclops, it wouldn't. However, I'm excited to see them in the costumes, the blue with the yellow. That, like, judging from that one shot of the trailer, I'm looking forward to seeing them that more in action, hopefully. But like you say, there just seems to be so much going on that I just don't know how they're gonna. I could be wrong, because they managed to do that well in Infinity War. So I won't jump to conclusions yet. However, I do think.
Yeah, but I think you're sorry, in Infinity War, we knew, obviously we know the X-Men and all that stuff, but I think
We spent a lot of time with the
yeah,
characters.
like Guardians, Ant-Man, Black
Yeah.
Panther, and all those ones. I think with this newer phase, it hasn't been obviously as successful as those ones.
It's been awful.
Yeah, it's been pretty crap, to be fair. And, like, you know, you look at the lineup previously, like I mentioned, Guardians, Ant-Man, blah blah blah. And there's a few of them are in, like Ant-Man, but then you got like people like Namor, which I'm not really
I
big.
couldn't care less for Namor.
Yeah, I don't know.
Shuri as Black Panther,
Yeah.
personally.
I don't know the ins and outs of Namor's origins very much.
Yeah.
But personally, like, judging off what we saw in Black Panther, I don't really care.
Yeah.
Freaking, what's her name? Miss Marvel.
Yeah, I mean, she hasn't been in any of the marketing, but when I looked on Letterboxd, she's credited in it.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. So if she's in there, and you got, you know, like the lineup.
It's like you just said. Like I said, we harken back to what we said earlier. I think it sets up the Avengers to lose quite badly, and be a lot of the death rate might be quite high on that. Or I'd imagine so anyway.
I think so. Thor and Loki are gonna.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I can see that.
Based off the trailer, that the first time I've ever seen it. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be like, yeah, Thor's are gonna name.
Yeah, I like I say, I'm mixed on it. I'm going in a lot more apprehensive than what I originally. But like you say, I think it's due to the fact that Marvel has been very poor with phases 4 and 5 to an extent. I mean, Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four were the major highlights. Forget the TV shows; that's a separate entity. Yeah, it's the most disconnected it's been for a while, and then all of a sudden now they're expecting us just to be okay with everybody mixing together and just be going, oh yeah, I remember that from that film. Whereas the other phases, they were all integrated. It was slowly morphing together, and then when you got to Infinity War, it earned to share the screen time.
Yeah,
you know,
it's tricky though as well for them, to be fair, because of this whole Kang Jonathan Majors thing.
Yeah,
but I've heard rumors that he might be in this.
I don't know. I think that he'll be in
to be killed off.
I think Doom will come in and take out all the variants.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. But
it's going to settle for Battle World, which is the big event for Secret Wars, after. So that's why I say I think everyone's going to lose quite heavily.
Yeah.
And that's where like Spiderman comes in, because he is in the comic as well. And there's rumors of X-Men. There's rumors all over the place, man. This is what I'm saying. Like Hugh Jackman's supposed to be in Secret Wars as Wolverine. Tobey Maguire is supposed to come back as Spider-Man. I mean, personally, I would love to see them two share the screen. That's just pure. But then I shoot myself in the foot because it'd be pure nostalgia, babe. But I'll be all for it because I grew up with those characters and their iterations of it.
Yeah.
and or portrayals. I'm sorry. So yeah, it's going to be. I think Doomsday is going to be a very mixed bag for me personally. I'm hoping for the best, but sorry, another theory. Steve Rogers, who you saw at the end of the trailer, isn't Steve Rogers. It's a
Is it
variant.
fair like Hydra
Yeah,
Rogers?
that's one
Well, I
of the
don't know
theories because he had the hammer. That's what I'm
hammer.
thinking. But everyone's judging him by the look, like he was very smug. But then there's also, I would hate that personally to undo his character arc in Endgame when he goes back and settles with Peggy. It would suck for him to have an
Maybe he's a
incursion.
kid or something.
Yeah, judging by the one teaser. But they're saying that one of the incursions was the third planet because if you watch New Rockstar, they do like this massive breakdown, and he's like one of them was saying that there's 3 worlds. That third world could be the Steve Rogers world where Peggy and that all die from an incursion. That's why Steve comes back. That would suck.
Yeah,
I would not like that in the slightest. I think that would be awful to undo everything that they did in Endgame.
Yeah,
and I'm still hit and miss on Robert Downey Jr.'s Doom. He sounded good. That was his voice at the start of the trailer. You know, the voiceover. That was Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
But well, I'm not going to say he's going to be bad. I mean, I'm hoping he's fantastic. I mean, but
I'm just really sorry. I want the angle of him being a Tony Stark variant.
I don't think they've said it won't be.
He won't be. So what? He's supposed to be Victor Von Doom?
Apparently, yeah.
But he just looks like Tony Stark. I hate that.
I'm just saying that's one of the things I've read online that it's not a Tony Stark variant.
I read a video where basically it was like Tony Stark. This variant, Tony Stark wasn't. Is it dad's character's name now? Fucking hell, what's his dad's name now?
I don't know.
Tony Stark.
Tony Stark's dad. Tony Stark's dad. I can't remember his name.
Basically, Tony Stark was adopted, and he wasn't actually like his son. And there was this whole conflict, and that led him down a different path to become.
Is that one of the videos around online?
There's a video, yeah, Brothers Houser series, but that's one. It's sort of like that. It's not word for word, but that's I would have been behind that rather than it just be this is Victor Von Doom, who we've like obviously we know the character, but he's new to the MCU, but he just happens to look a spitting image. But then it also gives up that freaking if Deadpool turns up in this, it's like literally it's a freaking it's just a freaking free shot at a joke of being like, oh, you look like freaking, you know what I mean? And it can't be asked for that.
No,
but that's not my main issue. But for me personally, I just don't like it when they do that.
No,
you know.
So yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, I'm looking forward to 18th of December. Doomsday, and it's now being marketed as.
Well, did you see that at the end of it? 18th of December is Doomsday.
Yeah. So yeah, it's I think out of the two, I'm looking forward to Doom Part 3 a lot more. However, I'm hoping that, of course, I'm always hoping for, and it's an Avengers movie, it's something to look forward to, but I think with these characters we've had over the last few years, I mean, seeing Shang-Chi in the trailer.
You love Shang-Chi?
Yeah. But seeing, Channing Tatum's Gambit was cool because he was one of the best bits of Deadpool Wolverine. So, again, I have a lot of questions because I'm thinking, did he survive? But whatever. We'll find out.
Yeah.
This could be part of the old incursion theory. Anyway, a little tangent, but I'm hoping it's going to be good. But my expectations are very, very low. So anything above that, I'll be loving it. If I'd come out saying give it a 7, that's a lot higher than what I originally thought it was going to be.
Yeah,
I'm at the moment in time, I was looking at anything, this is going to be like a 4 out of 10, 5.
You reckon 4 out of 10?
That's how low I was expecting it to be at one point.
I would never give it that low.
I'm hoping it's not.
I'd say like 6 would be disappointing.
Yeah,
it's got to be 7 or an 8.
It's got it's got to be a minimum an 8 for me. But,
You say IMAX?
Yes, 100%. Yeah. Doomsday on freaking IMAX and Doom Part 3.
Yeah, let's book a day off for that.
Yeah, we will. So some of the other piece of news was Ryan Gosling at San Diego Comic-Con being announced as Ghost Rider.
Interesting.
Not what I expected.
No, we expected for Ryan Gosling because I swear it was him who said he doesn't do sequels. I swear it was him who said that he likes projects where it's like one and done. He doesn't like to be tied down to projects. Mate, you're going to be in Ghost Rider probably next 5 years. Yeah, 5 films.
I mean, I think what I was looking forward to seeing Ghost Rider on in the MCU. However, let me have a look at. I wanted to bring up the director. This is my main concern.
Okay. I don't know anything about this, like director or anything. Is it 2028 they're scheduling it for?
Yeah. Sean Levy. Now, Sean.
Oh, yes.
Sean Levy. So he did Deadpool and Wolverine.
I thought he did.
Free Guy.
You liked that, didn't you?
Ryan Gosling.
Did you not like Free Guy? Was that Ryan Gosling one you liked? Stunt?
Fall Guy. That's with Ryan Gosling.
Fall Guy.
This is Free Guy.
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds, yeah. Did Night at the Museum... Secret of the Tomb, and so Night of the Museum 3. Night of the Museum, he did the whole trilogy. Cheaper by the Dozen.
Oh, yes.
I'm not being sold. He did the internship. He did a lot with Ryan Reynolds. The Adam Project. He did a few episodes of Stranger Things as well.
Oh, God.
And again, he's got an untitled Ryan Reynolds project as well. Surprise, surprise.
Me.
I think he likes.
Is he Canadian by chance?
I think he probably, just out of curiosity. Quebec, Canada.
There you go.
So yeah, I think the director for that's a bit of a concern for me. I think Ghost Rider is quite a dark side of Marvel and sort of mean spirited. So having a director like him who's doing like more comedies and action comedy. I mean, Deadpool Wolverine was great. I did like that a lot, but I'm just not.
You can't really fuck that up, could you?
You would think.
You can't. I mean, I think that'd be difficult to mess up, but yeah, that doesn't really sell me.
I think after Project Hail Mary, I think Ryan Gosling can do the comedic and the Fall Guy, which he was fantastic.
He's always been capable of doing that.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think I was a bit disappointed by the announcement, not because of the actor. I mean, Ryan Gosling's a great actor, but I don't know. I'm just now a bit. My expectations have lowered on that as well. I don't know.
Just give back to Nicolas Cage.
Should do, man. Yeah. Well, I was actually up for the idea of Norman Reedus in Ghost Rider. I thought he would have been wicked.
Yeah.
I know that was a lot of fan casting, but I mean, I couldn't think of anybody else on top of my head that would have pulled off being a good Ghost Rider.
Yeah, not on top of my head there.
So the other piece of announcement, which I'm very excited for, was David Johnson as Black Panther. He played. He was in Amy Romulus. He was in The Long Walk, which was one of my favorite movies of last year. He was in White Man, which came out this year in the UK. It had a festival release last year, but theatrically came out in February this year. Yeah, he was fantastic. He did another film called, it was like an indie film, something Rye. He's he's one of those he's one of those up and coming actors where I think he's going to be our next, great British actor. I was going to put him in a bracket of like the Denzel Washingtons
or Idris Elba.
Yeah, like an Idris Elba, but I think he's better than Idris Elba. Sorry, I'm putting that out there straight away. Okay. I think the last 3 films he's done, he's already proven to be better than Idris Elba.
Interesting.
That's just my opinion, but no, I think he's one of the next up-and-coming young actors to really keep an eye on. I think every project he's been in, he's been fantastic. He's got range. So he's now being taken over as the mantle of Black Panther, which is very exciting. Very exciting. I think perfect casting choice as well, for my opinion, to continue on the legacy of Chadwick Boseman. If you forgot his name, then it would have been really quite bad. I nearly said 21 Bridges. That's one of the films.
That's one of his films, yeah.
Yeah, Chadwick Boseman, yeah. He looks like the son of Black Panther.
So he's the son of the character?
Yeah, he's the son of T'Challa.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you should said that. I thought he was T'Challa.
Oh, it's good. Okay. I didn't have to say it, but yeah, you know what I meant.
Yeah.
But perfect casting choice for me. I think to continue the mantle as well. I think I was very happy with that choice. And then they released the Doomsday trailer. Sorry, what was your thought on David Johnson? Sorry, I just completely.
What?
David Johnson as
Yeah, that sounds good. I know. I can picture in my head. I know you're on about. Yeah, I think that's good. Good choice. Cool. Yeah, I can't really think of anybody else. To be honest,
continue the mantle. Yeah. It's big shoes to step. Big shoes to step. Shoes to fill in. But he said the honour's mine, and so I'm pleased. I hope he's going to smash it. And I think it's directed by Ryan Coogler, the third one as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Nice.
And then there was the Avengers Doomsday trailer, as I mentioned, but there was a bit of disappointment that there was no mention of. Sorry, I've got to write it down on my notes.
So the Deadpool snippet. People didn't like that.
Oh, yeah, the grey Deadpool.
Yeah, people didn't like that. They thought Ryan Reynolds was taking over.
Oh, right.
They've taken over the show.
Yeah. The other piece of news was just that people were a bit upset that there was no updates about Secret Wars or the X-Men movie.
It's a secret.
It is. Hey.
Yeah, but I heard that basically the Blade film's dead. This was gone.
Yeah,
he's walked away from it.
Yeah, he's walked away from it. He says, there was nothing, so he's going to continue. He's a phenomenal actor, Mahershala Ali. Mahershala Ali, yeah, he's a fantastic actor. So to not get that sorted, utilising it while he's there, it was just shocking.
Yeah,
but then again, he was in arguably one of the worst Marvel movies in Eternals.
He was in there.
He was the post-credit scene. Kit Harington's character.
He
says, "Are you sure you want to do that, Mister?" That was Blade in the background.
Was it? Was it actually him?
Yeah, it was him.
Good God, I forgot everything about that film.
Me too, unfortunately. Apart from that bit. Yeah, that was just the news from San Diego Comic Con.
Nothing about Eternals, nothing.
No, I think that's dead.
This
is what I'm saying. Like Phase 4 was such an atrocity that they even purposely forgot these characters.
Yeah, and then they mentioned
the powerful ones.
Yeah.
And yet just completely go, nah.
Yeah.
Get them.
They eventually have to mention in Captain America, the Brave New World.
Yeah, they did,
They have to mention that thing sticking out the earth. But the Eternals.
Just forget them. You know what? Personally, that It's fine.
It's fine.
Because the film's awful. I know people are higher
I bet
on it
we've
than
got
me.
new cosmic powers, like in Franklin, is it? The kid in Fantastic
Yeah,
Four?
frankly, yeah, Fantastic Four.
There's
Yeah,
loads of cosmic key characters. They don't need them.
yeah, I agree.
Yes.
So, Spider-Man rankings?
Yeah, rankings.
That was all the San Diego Comic Con for Marvel. That's
So, top of my head, I've got 4 Tom Hollands, 3 Sam Raimi's, 2 Andrew Garfield's, and 2.
well done.
So that's 4, 7, 8, 9, 11. Okay, easy. Number 11 for me. Unless you want me to go first.
You go first, yeah, ladies first.
So, bottom, I would say, what are you laughing at?
I said ladies first. He didn't acknowledge it.
Well, bitch, please, mate. Yeah, 2026. What did I say? 2026.
We are in the year 2026. Just confirming.
Yeah,
It's been a long day for us, folks.
It freaking has, man.
Since 6 o'clock.
Bottom of the list. I don't know how that ended up saying 2026 bottom of the list. Amazing Spider-Man 2. Yeah.
Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man 2, yeah.
Can I have a sip before we carry on?
What? You're going to laugh?
No, because I'm worried you're going to say something stupid that's going to make me choke on it.
Me say something stupid? No chance. So, Amazing Spider-Man 2, bottom of the list. I think it's got one great scene, which obviously we all know about.
The credits.
Yeah. No, the Gwen Stacy's, it was mainly Andrew Garfield's performance in that scene.
Carried it, yeah.
And the music. I like the electro music, yeah. That, to be fair, that music segment is class. You know,
it is good, yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah, that is cool. But then everything else in that, I think they wasted Dane DeHaan. Not like this Green Goblin look was crap.
Oh, it was awful.
It was awful. Yeah, I was being polite. Yeah, it was rubbish. And to be honest, I can't really remember anything other than that. What's so funny there?
No, I'm not laughing. I wasn't laughing. I was just listening to you.
Okay. Right, number 10.
No, now you're going to make me laugh. Don't do that. Okay, number 11. Number 10.
Probably Amazing Spider-Man.
Okay.
But to be fair, it sounds harsh, but Andrew Garfield is like a really good Peter Parker.
Yeah.
And Spider-Man, to be fair to him. I think
so, no, I'm going to get to my bit before you go on. You do yours.
I think he was good and he portrayed the character well. I just think everything, the writing and everything else. And to be fair, Emma Stone, Gwen Stacy, she was good. But I think everything else following that was a bit of a letdown. Because obviously, you know, we see him in No Way Home and he's great in it. So, you know, he's brilliant. So, yeah, bit of a letdown, really. Didn't utilise him very well. I think, like I say, they had a good actor in Andrew Garfield. And yeah, well, we might see him again. Never know. So number 9, I'm going to say Far From Home.
Okay. Yeah, I won't disagree with that.
Yeah, it's a bit lackluster, isn't it? Really, to be honest. I mean, it was the middle. Was this after Endgame?
Yeah, this was the films after Endgame.
Straight after Endgame. Yes, I think you literally put it after Endgame, which is a bit of a
that ended Phase 3.
Yeah, it's a bit of a strange choice that was. Obviously, it leaded into No Way Home. Obviously, I thought Mysterio was interesting, but not like the comic book version that we all grew up on, and you know, like the games. Like
I loved Mysterio in the games.
Yeah, in the games. Yeah, it was proper menace, wasn't he? But this way, like modernised, wasn't he? You know, and he was a bit. Was the whole purpose of him being pissed off because Tony Stark named his technology Bath?
Something like that.
Yeah, it's a bit like Come on, mate, grow some balls. You know,
he sort of wanted to be the opposite. He wanted to be the Tony Stark and ended up being the opposite.
Yeah, but an interesting element. It's nice to see J.K. Simmons. It's a cameo in the end, and obviously the huge reveal of everyone knowing who Peter Parker is. But yeah, other than that, I think not memorable.
Yeah.
So what was that? Number 8.
Yeah. Tell you what, you're doing this really well off the cuff.
Thank you. Homecoming.
Yeah.
Again, first solo film of Tom Holland era as Peter Parker. I think he was solid. You know, he was decent. I think Michael Keaton as Falcon was interesting, and the story, like how they connected it to the MCU with Avengers, him basically owning all the Atari equipment,
picking up the pieces.
Yeah, I like that aspect. I thought they worked that into the MCU like quite well, and like how he's the father of the love interest originally. Can't remember her name.
That was a good twist.
Yeah, it was a good twist. Yeah, and like his like almost father figure relationship with Tony. Good. But not enough meat on the bones, really. I think it's just a good run-of-the-mill Spider-Man film, to be honest with you. So then number 7, I would probably put Spider-Man 3 as number 7. It's not as bad. I think during the time when, I don't know, 2007 when it was coming out, it was hyped. Yeah, we saw the marketing with Spider-Man in the black suit and Venom and Sandman. You think, this is going to be the best thing since sliced bread. Obviously, it wasn't. I think there was a bit of miscast with Topher Grace. I mean, I like Topher, but him as Venom and Eddie Brock, he was just like a bit naff. The best part in that film is Sandman. Like I said,
his storyline.
His storyline, it was really good. Obviously, Green Hobgoblin, yeah.
Yes, Hobgoblin, yeah.
James Franco. Yeah, but he was all right. Nowhere near as good as Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin. But interesting aspects. But again, I don't think he's anywhere near as bad as what people were making it out to be. It was a letdown at the time.
It definitely let down coming off Spider-Man 2, which is
yeah.
Yeah.
And
but to add on to that as well, I think I'll make more of a point of it in mind. I think the studio interference was a massive hindrance as well.
Sam Raimi's got terrible freaking history.
He
with
does,
that,
unfortunately.
Yeah, but then again, people don't like the email Peter Parker and the whole dance, all that sort of angle.
Insert clip.
yeah, it was different. But like I say, it's not. I don't think it's not unwatchable. I mean, none of these are unwatchable, to be honest with you. I think like even the bottom ones, I don't think they're unwatchable. Yeah, so this would be number 7 then.
Yep.
Yeah. Number 7. Is it number 7?
Yeah, it is number 7.
So
number
1,
7.
2, 3, 4, 5.
This is where you should write down.
You've still got. We've got Spider-Man 1, 2.
It was 1 and 2. The two in the verse across.
Brand New Day. Brand New Day. And what's the other one?
No, yeah, you got the mate. You've had so far the Amazing Spider-Man 2, Homecoming, the Amazing Spider-Man, Spider-Man 3, Far From Home. You've still got Brand New Day, the first 2 Spider-Man Raimis, the 2 animated, and No Way Home.
So this is my number 6? Yeah, that's what I was asking.
Jesus.
Yeah,
this is what you should write shit down.
I know. So my number 6, I might stir the pot here, but I'm going to go Cross.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No. Sorry.
I think
that is awful.
Opinions. Yeah. Like I said in my previous video, opinions are like arseholes. We all have one. But number 6, oh man, you put me off here, right? Sure. So it's a great film. Like these, the neighbor working up to like top tier Spider-Man films. Yeah. So I just prefer. Obviously, I love the visual, the visuals of it and the
animation.
Yeah, the animation. I think it's great. This isn't a bad film, but for me, obviously, I prefer 5 other Spider-Man films.
I think his journey in that is better than the other ones.
But again, my next point is I have only watched it once at the cinema when it was out. I haven't watched it again. I've watched the first one twice, that one once.
You need to do yourself a favour. Rewatch the Cross.
Well, yeah, I will do. But for now, I know I'm going to get a lot of hate and a lot of accolades if you've been watching. Yeah, that'd be hot taking it. But personally, I just think I prefer like the live action Spider-Mans. But in its defence, it can do more, and they do more in them. You look at me really disappointed. Just right then, so just to get twist a knife. Number 5 would be Into the Spider-Verse. Again, for the same reason, but they might go higher, they might go lower. But again, growing up on the Spider-Man films, I think that has a big part in it for me. I don't want to spoil my list, but obviously the original ones that I'm going to mention, I just think they hold up more. They just do more.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm just stirring the pot as well because I think they're just, this is your list.
Right, so number 4, then I would go with the Brand New Day. This one, yeah. So Brand New Day. Again, we'll mention it more in the spoilers, but yeah, I'm not going to delve into that too much. So then number 3, I think, would be the first original Spider-Man. It's a toss up really between that and Spider-Man 2 because one day I prefer the first one, the next day I prefer the second one.
Yeah.
In the first one, it was the one that really was one of the first comic book films we ever watched. Really,
it was.
Oh, yeah, so I love everything about it. Like you say, New York feels lived in. All the characters are in it. Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin, like class. But then the second one, it's got Doc Ock and Harry Osborn, and so it's a toss up between them two. So for now, that would be it. So then number 2, I think, would be Spider-Man 2. Again, they can alternate those depending on what mood I'm in, whatever. So ultimately, then the best overall Spider-Man film is going to be No Way Home.
No Way Home? Yeah,
I think, like, especially like what we say, like external things that go on in your life have an effect on when you watch the film. So I know when this was coming out, so I was in a bad spot, and I remember you picked me up and we went to the cinema to watch it, and it was literally like our childhood unfolding, on the screen. I love that. I love that experience. So I think that has an added element.
We teared up when Tobey Maguire came on.
Yeah,
the first time when I saw him, I was like, "Oh my god!"
The experience of that was amazing. It was like top 5.
Yeah. Apart from that little shit next to me who said, "Who's that?"
Yeah,
to Tobey Maguire could have decked that kid.
He's not even taking the piss, man. He should have done. Man's from Dudley. But yeah. So personally, for me, that would be my number 1. And obviously, he's got a great story behind it. The callbacks to Andrew Garfield and with his thing,
Toby with his back,
Toby with his back, and Tom Holland with his Spider-Man with Aunt May, and
Yeah, it was great, and it was a great storyline for Peter. His internal
Yeah,
play concept. Everyone is finally learning what with that power comes great responsibility. We
yeah,
finally got the line, you know, with
yeah.
it.
That'd be the ultimate. You know, he's got Doctor Strange training for shits and gigs. Say it, not shits and gigs. He does
So
serve a
it's
purpose.
a interesting list. I think a lot of people would probably have the animated movies higher. So from that to from your point from your list to mine, so my list of Spider-Man movies goes pretty much. To be fair, the bottom's pretty much similar to you. It is the Amazing Spider-Man 2 is bottom. I know Andrew from the Escape Pod podcast loves this movie. He defends this movie to the hilt, but not the one with the wearing a hat. The other one. Well, he's lovable.
No, but I mean
Um,
that's strange. He's strange,
oh,
but that take is
Oh,
strange.
that takes strange.
Yeah,
Yeah, he defends it, move to the hills. The story, I think the ending, I think the story from his sort of character development, he likes the subplot with his dad, with his parents, which aren't really in it.
yeah. They're
Within
alive,
those,
aren't they?
sort of alive, but not alive, or they left secrets for him. They never really got explained, really. That's why I think it's a mess, because yes, the ending is probably one of the best moments, of the most tragic moments, but Peter Parker, Andrew Garfield as Peter Parker is like definitely the highlight of those movies. You
Yeah,
think he's my argument to you was when you said that I think he's a great Spider-Man. I think he's a not good Peter Parker. Peter Parker's too cool. Peter Parker's far too like he's sort of like that emo kid, and everyone thinks he's hot. And I'm like, Peter Parker's a sad nerd. Like I don't like his version of Peter Parker. But Spider-Man, he's great.
yeah.
But yeah, it's a complete mess. They had a lot of problems with writing, and they tried to shoehorn the Rhino in the end, which I thought was just
Oh God,
atrocious.
yeah. Jesus,
But again, that's one of Andrew's best moments of the film, with him going to that kid saying, you know, he's going through all that shit, just like lost Gwen, and he's being that hero that people need him to be. And I thought it was a mess. The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
yeah.
So number 10 is Spider-Man Homecoming. I think it relied too much on Iron Man in a Spider-Man movie. Like you said, their father-son relationship and him trying to be the Tony Stark Jr. But it did have some really good moments. Like I say, Vulture's a really good villain. The plane fight scene is really cool. The twist with him being the dad of the love interest, him rising up to being Spider-Man and having a lot of rubble underneath him. I thought was a really good moment for him.
Yeah,
But it's enjoyable, but I do think it has a lot of story issues. I don't think they felt like just
that's
your
fair.
average MCU movie. So number 9, The Amazing Spider-Man again, so it's a lot better than The Amazing Spider-Man. I actually like the Lizard as the villain in this, and the dynamic between Peter Parker and Gwen's dad, Spider-Man and Gwen's dad, sorry,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
saw the tragic, yeah, saw the tragedy between that. But again, with his movies, they don't really seem to delve in with the parent side, even though there was a big story theme. And when they were rebooting it, they made the emphasis that explores like the origins of his parents and what happened to them, blah blah blah. But Sally, is this Sally
Sally
Fields
Fields.
who plays Aunt May? She's a great Aunt May, but yeah, she was one of the highlights of that first one. The speech of Uncle Ben's was good. Wasn't as good as obviously the Raimi one, but I thought it was quite memorable as well. And again, it had some really solid fight sequences in the school with the lizard transforming. So that was really fun. But yeah, it just felt Peter Parker felt too emo-y for me. So it didn't seem like a good Peter Parker. So the Amazing Spider-Man number 9, number 8. I have Spider-Man 3. Again, more into what I said on what your point was. I think there was far too much studio interference with that one. Venom wasn't originally in it, but the studio talked to write Venom in it, and you can tell because it totally deviated from the original story that they were trying to tell. I thought the Hobgoblin and Sandman were solid villains enough, and then to add to shoehorn Venom in like the way they did it quite badly. I thought it was just which it was a bad move for what they were originally for what they were originally going for. The friendship dynamic between the three, with Hobgoblin and Spider-Man, etc. I thought with Harry and Peter was really interesting dynamic, which we didn't really explore more. But I think that was more down to the writing when they started to include more of Venom and evil Peter, which was a bit, a lot of issues. But I would say does hold a little bit of nostalgia, but I can definitely see more of the problems in that one than what I did with the other ones. That was number 8. Number 7, I have Far From Home. I have this at an 8 out of 10 for some reason. And I remember the more I think about it, the more I would probably put down on the list if I rewatched it. I didn't like the fact the way we went away from New York. I did think the Mysterio villain, whilst cool, the technology side of things, instead of that little sort of mystique type thing, was sort of a bit disappointing, despite Jake Gyllenhaal being a really solid addition. I think he's a really good villain. Yeah, I'd like to have it delved into a bit more of him and Peter's MJ's relationship. I think being away from New York was a bit of a letdown for me. And again, but I did like the theme of like grief from losing Tony Stark, like the world losing Tony Stark, not just Spider-Man, but obviously he felt it a lot more. But if I had to rewatch it, I'll probably rate it a little bit lower. But for now, I've still got it as an 8, so I'm going to stick it at number 7. Number 6, I had Brand New Day, which we've already given a non-spoiler review for, a spoiler review coming up, so I'm not going to delve too much into that, but I have that at number 6. Number 5, I have the original Spider-Man 2002, the first one from Raimi. These are, in fact, fun fact, this is the last 9 out of 10. The rest are all 10s. So I'll rate these Spider-Man movies higher. So yeah, the original Spider-Man, like I said, Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin was dream casting. Probably, I would actually put that up there with Heath Ledger's Joker as one of the greatest comic book villain castings ever.
Yeah, no.
I think he captured the psychological side of Green Goblin, especially after his, has that toxin inserted. Created and some of the iconic one-liners he gives in that, I think he's a fantastic villain. Tobey Maguire is still my Spider-Man, man. He is so good in that, and he's a really good nerd as Peter Parker. That's sort of the thing I was going on about. Peter Parker's a proper nerd in this. He's not liked, he's bullied, and you can sort of relate to it a lot more. But whereas Andrew Garfield, he was too cool and he didn't really get bullied as much. It wasn't that nerdy side of Peter as we see. Very clever, but not that nerd portrayal. And again, so many memorable action sequences in that. The fire in the apartments, and Green Goblin scared the crap out of us at the cinema watching as kids. But yeah, very, very cool, iconic moments. The final battle as well is absolutely brutal as well for a fight sequence. He gets smashed in the face, slow motion, going into rocks, flying through the abandoned, I think that's a factory or a house or something like that. And on the bridge, saving the school bus or the love interests. It was so many cool moments. The blood as well when he's on the ceiling. It's some very, very iconic moments. The soundtrack.
They say that a
hero can save us. Copyrighted. And also some 41s when it upside down.
Yeah.
What's that song called now? Damn, the name evades me. It was really, I remember the music video when they're upside down, and Norman Osborn comes in, looks up, and it's empty.
Yeah,
I remember that music video. So yeah, that's number 5. So number 4, I'm going Into the Spider-Verse. I think it's introducing Miles Morales in the way it did. The animation is phenomenal. Kingpin as a villain is excellent. Love the relationship between him and Peter Parker, the older Peter Parker, and Gwen Stacy Spider Girl is fantastic, and I love the introduction of all the other ones, including the noir Spider-Man, voiced by Nicolas Cage, is excellent. The story of him having that responsibility, learning it through the other Peter Parkers and the Gwens, it's just a really good character development story for Miles Morales and him rising to being Spider-Man. And that shot of the Introverted, like him rising to New York, is one of the best visuals, cinematography shots I've ever seen in a comic book movie. I want that as a poster really badly. Him, Spider-Man, rise into New York, rise into that challenge to be in Spider-Man. It's such an iconic moment. Into is absolutely phenomenal. Number 4 is No Way Home. Sorry.
Jesus.
Yeah. Similar reasons to you. I think that cinema experience was phenomenal. It ties in the story of Peter's trilogy. The ending is fantastic. A lot of consequences of him being Spider-Man. Obviously, having Andrew Garfield come back and getting his moments, so is Toby's. The whole last hour is phenomenal. Them talking on top of the school after Aunt May dies, him and with great power comes great responsibility, and they're all there for him because they've all experienced it. There are so many iconic moments, and it's with the villains back as well. Norman Osborn, Willem Dafoe back as Norman Osborn.
Melina
back as Doc Ock, and Jamie Foxx actually getting a good villain arc. After I know you like the soundtrack when he made Spider-Man, but I thought apart from that he was a very bad villain.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, sorry, No Way Home was number 4, and as I say, number 3 is Into. Number 2 is Across the Spider-Verse. Now I'm putting it out there. If Beyond the Spider-Verse, when that comes out next year, hopefully, unless it's delayed again, if that is a 9 or above, it has to be minimum 9 for me. That is the best Spider-Man trilogy we've ever had. So I'm putting that out there. If that hits expectations and they conclude that trilogy, then that is the best Spider-Man trilogy. And I would put it higher than Raimi's, even though I grew up on him. I think Across is him being his own person. That scene when he's taking on 2029 Spider-Man and he says, "Now I'm going to do things my own way." I thought that was such a good message of being your own person, not being these, because it happened to them, it's going to happen to you. Don't let your future or let you have to find who you are. He's like, "No, I'm going to do my own thing." Such a good message and a really big moment for any Spider-Man movie. I think the animation is top tier here. I really do think it's some of the best animation I personally have ever seen. The story with Gwen as well and their relationship, the soundtrack is beautiful. Some of the visuals and the writing, it's just a phenomenal Spider-Man movie. I think it really captures. It actually makes me want to read more Miles Morales comics as well. I know. So I think I hold across in very high regard. I'm just hoping Beyond lives up to the expectation, and then it will be the perfect trilogy. I'd put it up there with Lord of the Rings.
But yeah,
Yeah, putting it out there. And number one, Spider-Man. It's. I watched. How many times have I rewatched that? Rewatched that growing up. I think Alfred Molina as Doc Ock is superb casting choice. That sequence when he turns into Doc Ock gave me proper Sam Raimi horror vibes.
yeah,
The first tentacles and taking out the hospital
yeah.
crew. Some really good comedic moments as well. Again, it sort of harkened back to what Brand New Day did. It sort of gave that balance, the struggle between being Peter Parker and being Spider-Man, and him losing his powers, sort of having that bit of identity crisis. And then it leads up to one of the best last 45 minutes to a comic book movie ever. The train sequence is phenomenal. The soundtrack blew me away to that. The slow motion, the taxi going in and him getting his powers back. Yeah, the fight, the train, and the end on the dock with the energy thing. And there's some good moments that May gave. Who's the actress who played Aunt May again? Sorry, I can't remember her name. She gives that speech about I think there's a hero in all of us. I think it's such. Ooh, damn. Sorry, it's just remembered it. Yeah, it's a good speech to listen to when you.
Yeah. Hey, that's your top Spider-Man film for a reason. God damn. Yeah,
I didn't expect it to do that because I just remembered it. Yeah, if you're having a bad day, it's a good speech to listen to.
There you go. Yeah, summed it up perfectly. Yeah, fair play. So,
I don't know where that came from.
I thought you ate yourself.
I was just thinking of the speech, and yeah.
Well, yeah, that's what
it's a bit like how moments he was in a bad spell when I remember rewatching that. And, yeah, just hit a nerve. Shit, I didn't expect that.
You look.
Yeah, I'm alright.
You sure?
I know.
Go here.
I came from. Oh,
nah.
Missing my daughter as well.
Yeah.
Don't like getting emotional. Shows weakness.
It does not show weakness. Don't be daft. Yeah,
spoilers.
Yeah, what at all?
Let's spoil Brand New Day for you. So if you got to this point, go and watch Brand New Day before then come back and let us know your thoughts. So can I start first?
Yeah.
I called it. Sadie Sink's character is Jean Grey. I called it from day one. I just knew that there couldn't be any other. And for the first 20 minutes of the film, when you get introduced to sort of like the hopping and the mind controlling, I was thinking this has got to be Jean Grey, because the other theory that I read was she was going to be Miss Negative, like a female version of that.
Yeah. So I thought
I was hoping they wouldn't, because I know I said in that non-spoiler review that it takes a lot of inspiration from the video games. I know the villain from the first one was Mr. Negative. I know it wasn't the main villain, but it was one of the villains. And I was hoping they wouldn't do that. So I was really happy to see Jean Grey. And it just confirms that the X-Men are slowly being integrated into the MCU. And I think, personally, like I said earlier, big X-Men fan, I'm very excited.
Yeah, no, she's a good inclusion. I think I didn't feel that surprised because I felt like it was going to be I had rumblings and rumors about it.
Yeah.
So when it was revealed, I thought, oh yeah, But no, yeah, like I say, they've teed it up well. Just whether they can land it with the new upcoming ones and all that sort of stuff. But yeah. What else did we like? I mean, there's quite obviously a few things. Like Zendaya, I thought was really good in this. To be fair,
yeah, expand more Bill on that. Yeah, I was a bit surprised when you said that.
No, like to her relationship with like Peter Parker, she is like distant to. She doesn't know who he is. I thought she acted like really well, especially in that hideout scene. And when she finds his letter and she's basically like reading it out to him. I'm glad it didn't do like this tropey thing where she was like
drops the letter and gives her a big kiss, and she's like, "I'm sorry, I don't love you." I was like, "Fuck."
Yeah, and he's just there. He doesn't even say anything.
Yeah, that's credit to he said about Tom Holland's acting. His face said it all.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
And even I was watching, going, "Oh man, like that her."
But to be fair, I mean, it's got the added layer because it's his actual real life girlfriend,
his wife now.
Sorry, yeah. So maybe it could be like, fucking hell, this could happen one day. Obviously not. I don't know.
No, they're my favourite couple at the minute.
Retract that.
Yeah. They're my favourite celebrity couple. I hope they never split up.
Yeah, no, she was really good in this. Yeah, so the Hulk, obviously, like we said, good to see him here. I liked how it's coming back to his original Hulk, you know, where
I love that. Yeah, I love that line. No banner,
no banner.
only
Yeah.
Hulk. I was like, yes, my boy.
Yeah.
And then he looked pissed. I was like, yes.
It actually, I don't know if he's ever used this move before in the MCU when he claps.
Yeah, Hulk clap. He did that in the 2008 one. Yeah, Edward Norton's.
God, those fucking.
Yeah, he does the Hulk, which is what Punisher falls into.
Yeah,
He does this Hulk stamp, and then the Hulk
I was
clap.
thinking of Ultimate Lines, the games we used to play. We used to have that move, the clapping one.
God, that game is legendary.
Amazing.
Remake it. Come on now.
Yeah, God, I want it so bad. You can't buy it anymore.
That's a crime.
Yeah. Sorry, no, that's a side note, but yeah. So the Hulk in this, like when we saw him, I thought it was really good. But I thought that thing in his hand was from the snap, that little thing he had on.
Oh yeah.
That was from the snap, but obviously it was to control his.
It was to control his gamma.
Yeah.
That's what I say. Sort of his gamma, so he stops turning into the Hulk, and then he's trying to get that so Spider-Man can get rid of. Oh, sorry, Spider-Man. So Peter can sort of sort out his arachna side of instincts. Which I thought was a really good plot device, actually. Like, MacGuffins and all that, but I actually thought that was quite a solid. I will say MacGuffin because it was. It sort of counteracting like his metaphorical visual metaphor for balancing like between the human form, which is like Peter Parker, and then the arachnid side of thing, which is Spider-Man. So I thought it balanced it. I thought he did a pretty good job with that. So I'm just trying to ramble a little bit.
No, it did, yeah. But like I say, it was just a shame that he was just mainly here for a plot device. Like he had cool scenes in here. Don't get me wrong, like he did. And also, I could be saying for the Punisher, really. Like, did the Punisher really have to be in this film when you deep dive into it?
You know what? You could argue no. I wouldn't, but I'm happy.
Yeah, I'm glad he's here. Like, I'm not saying like the Punisher was pointless. Like it was cool to see. I'm glad that they've managed to integrate the Disney, Netflix, whatever characters in here. But where was Daredevil? What's he up to?
He's in prison.
In prison. Okay.
Yeah, at the end of spoilers for Born Again season 2. Yeah, at the end of it, he goes to maximum security prison.
Oh, right, okay. And what was this on about with where they helped each other? Was he on about like No Way Home? He was on about Spider-Man and Punisher. They're saying the Statue of Liberty or something along those lines.
No,
was having banter about something.
Oh, Staten Island. I don't know. I think that was a thing between them, off screen. Yeah, because
so I thought he might have been in the Punisher. I thought maybe Spider-Man had a cameo.
No. I mean, to be fair, that's one things I'm very confused, especially when it comes to the New York side of things, because there's events that happen in Daredevil Born Again, and it obviously had Frank Castle in it as well. And then there's no Spider-Man at all in that, even though it's supposed to be street level. And then in this one, it has no mention of anything that happened in Daredevil, which I'm not saying it was massive world scale. Like, well, yeah, actually, sorry, yeah, it does, because I mean, you haven't watched it. Do you want me spoiling it for you or not? Kingpin. Okay, season 1, Kingpin becomes mayor of New York.
I know that. Yeah.
And then he has a citywide curfew at the end of the season finale, and then they have a massive blackout. No mention from that. Season 2, there's a massive a ship that sinks, which has all his weapons that was all stored because he buys this bit of land which isn't owned by anything. He was a poor trade. He was a trading pool, but he bought that area so he can get all his illegal stuff through there. So, but he was legal because he bought that part. And there's nothing mentioned about that at all. Because I thought for a street level Spider-Man film, you might have got a mention to it, or saying, "Oh, thanks for help someone." That, even though we knew he was Daredevil, but he'd never mentioned it or where he was during that time. So sometimes I think, can you not just make a line or a reference to it? So just so we know that you were there, because I'm finding it difficult. Like even in Thunderbolts with the Void, nothing gets mentioned, and nothing gets mentioned in Daredevil about it as well. So sometimes that's why I say earlier about things not being interconnected, and how it doesn't feel interconnected like the other ones. It's like they're on their own separate thing, but they're in the same area. Like, so why is nothing being brought up? So that's probably just I'd say it's a massive problem for me. I mean, sometimes I just like a bit of continuity, and you feel like people are lived in. But sorry. Now I've said all that, I can rewind to the Punisher bit. I like his addition because he is a street level character. So it was nice to see Spider-Man interacting with street level characters. Yeah. And I hope in the future, now we got Punisher, let's get Daredevil in eventually, because they've had team ups before, him and Spider-Man and Punisher. You can have a trio if you want. That'd be amazing. And it's not like they can't do it, because Matt Murdock was in No Way Home. He was the lawyer, wasn't he? You're telling me you can't do that? I think it's a potential for the future, as long as Tom Holland wants to keep doing it, which he said he would love to do it for another 10, 15 years.
Well, yeah.
But I'm happy for that. But yeah, I thought it was. Yeah, I can see your argument where say he doesn't have to be in it, but I'm certainly glad he is. And you know what, he is. I think the banter between them was really solid. I think that it was really funny. I laughed. I was quite a lot. I chuckled a lot at some of the stuff that was being said, and the banter. That's why I say the comedy hit more for me for this one because I felt it balanced it just right. It wasn't one of those weird, awkward situations where there's an intense action scene and then they go, "Oh, so you're going to do this?" or something like that. You know what I mean? Like it worked out. Like the comedy bits were in the right areas, whereas the serious scenes really did take it, a bit more serious. Like the ending where like she's having that internal conversation, saying that you're not alone and. You've gone through a tragedy. I've gone through one. I've experienced it. You really don't have to do this. I'm here for you. I thought it was brilliant. That's Peter Parker to me. That's Spider-Man. But then there was no comedic errors. At one point, oh shit, they're going to kill him. Actually, I thought they actually were going to kill Spider, and Punisher did it. I thought, oh shit, but thankfully they didn't. I'm glad they didn't because I thought, man, that would have really put Punisher in a bad mouth, like bad taste.
It would have been like a bloody Star-Lord thing.
It would have been a Star-Lord thing, but smacking Thanos, yeah, definitely. No, I'm glad they didn't do that. What did you think about them not going against what happened in No Way Home? So sort of like you mentioned earlier about them not having that tropey kiss, like thank God that they are back at that level. Like, yeah, I'm aware that you knew, and what you did it for me, which is thankful. And then sort of like telling Ned or not, and the handshake at the very end, I was like, okay, so there is something that's going to be built on.
I think that by the end, he recognised him, doesn't he?
Yeah,
he knows who he is, like because he said like Peter in that like way.
That's what I'm saying. So I didn't feel that they fully went against it, but they have opened that door for him to not be. And I think that's a message. Like a brand new day where he's been alone for so many years. I feel like there's 4 or 5 years on his own, and then he realised that he needs people with him to help get through because that's why he's becoming isolated. That's why he's sort of losing himself in a way because he needs those people that he loves and them love around him. So it's quite a nice little message. Same goes for Jean Grey's character at the end. Sorry, for Jean Grey's character, because then eventually she's going to go off and form the X-Men, which is going to be great. So sort of it's quite a pivotal moment for maybe setting up the X-Men movie. So it's good. I quite like. So I realised I just covered that theme there about them needing the people that live around them to become who they are. They need those positive people around them, and living alone and isolated isn't sometimes the best. Yeah, it's not the way.
Yeah,
but I did love the homages to the Spider-Man comic books, like with the Scorpion and him up in the air, him holding the villain, the criminal. There was some really cool shots of famous comic book trade paperback covers.
Can I say as well, like random points, but that whole thing when Spider-Man lost his shit and he's flung the Scorpion, that's the cop's fault.
The cop's fault?
Yeah.
He drove in the way?
Yeah.
100%.
100%. Like, what do you expect? You see like these two fucking mutant like people like with amazing powers fighting against each other, and you decide to drive up right next to them, and you think you can't get hit.
Yeah, I think that was let's say how it takes homages from like the Raimi film Spider-Man 2 especially. It was sort of like that film's equivalent of when in Spider-Man 2 when he's saving the people from the building, and he says some poor soul got trapped on the 4th floor and never made it out. That's sort of his realization that well in that film he needed his powers back because he couldn't save everybody, and it's just this was all like the opposite of what happens if he takes his powers too far.
Yeah.
I get your point. Like, I mean, you got Spider-Man and this freaking super villain like fighting. The last thing you want to do is drive your car in front of them. But I get that. But
yeah, that's the one thing I was a bit let down by with Scorpion. I want to see him more in it.
More Michael Mann.
Because he was just used as a plot device, and it was like it was almost like who can we bring back for this part? Like no, we got Scorpion back in. We used him in Homecoming. Why don't we bring him back? And he was served as literally just a
plot
device for Jean Grey's character. I was a bit like, actually, I've just seen a bit more. It was cool seeing they added some other villains in, like montages, but Tombstone.
Yeah, Tombstone, that was really cool. It was Tombstone. Who was the other one? It's called Tombstone. What was the other one called? Oh, no, it was just the villains on top of the roof. It was just the burglars on top of the roof, wasn't it?
It wasn't Rhino, was it?
No, it wasn't Rhino.
There's someone
they can never do Rhino, right? No. Jesus, have you seen Grave the Hunter? Jesus Christ.
Yes, I have.
Freaking hell.
Grief. That's awful.
That is awful.
Yeah, it's the worst. It makes poor Dean Matty look amazing.
And that was shite.
Yeah.
No, I think there's a lot to love from this one. I think, like I say, I think over the year, it's nice to know that this could be the next generation Spider-Man 2, like it was for us. I won't go talk about too much about Spider-Man 2 again. But I think it's it could be the next generation. So like, there was a couple of kids in that screening, and I mean they were like very invested in the story. I mean they were talking, not loudly. They didn't but it was nice to see that they were caring for what was happening on the screen. So that was really cool to see. Yeah, I'm just really happy that we're getting really good Spider-Man movies because I know me and you don't talk about it personally, but when we do get a Spider-Man movie, I do get very excited. Because the character we grew up on, we watched the cartoons, we read I probably read more comics than you, and then we got the movies, and I just love Spider-Man. I didn't realize how much I love.
He's great, relatable characters. And he obviously minus the powers.
Just minus the superpowers.
He's an everyday kind of guy, isn't he?
Yeah, I did like that reference to Peter too. In the film where he says, "Oh, it comes out organically," and he's like, "Oh, gross!" He starts gagging. I thought that was really funny. That was a good reference to Spider-Man. No Way Out. I think. Go on.
I was going to say, so end credit after post-credit scene.
So I think this goes back to Secret Wars. So the post-credit scene is, in the front of the film, there's like this running joke about the Spidey app, which Ned creates, and it sort of shows where Spider-Man is in the vicinity. And at the end of the film, it sort of zooms out saying, "Not found location, not found location," and then it zooms out to him not being on on planet Earth, on planet. And it like pans quite far to the right, and then it says location device is in space. I think this is going to be Secret Wars.
Yeah,
and I think specifically, I think he's going to be on Battleworld. It's been probably 10 years since I read the Secret Wars comic, being honest. So I am probably going to reread it before it comes out, just so I refresh my knowledge. But yeah, I do strongly believe that is where Peter's going to be in Secret Wars, because he's not supposed to be in Doomsday. He's not in any of the promotion. There's no in interviews. He's mentioned that he's not in Doomsday. Again, so is Margaret Flo saying they're not in Doomsday. I think they're going to save that for Secret Wars. And
the thing is, it's strange how Hulk sort of finished off this movie. How he fell from the top to the bottom, and he got injured. And that's the reason why he's not going to be in Doomsday.
Maybe. Well, he's having a psychiatric hospital because now he's gone back to Mad Hulk. Now he hasn't gone back to Smart Hulk or anything. So
basically, it's a reason for him not to be.
There could be. You know what? Universal, Marvel, get your ideas together. He could have been off on a different location. We took him by Ross, where Ross was at the end of Brave New World. Have you seen Brave New World? Where Ross gets taken at the end. Come on now. I'm giving you the money, I'll be there day one. Don't you worry if you did that. Well, no, So I think, the post-credit scene, sorry to finish that off, I think that sets up Secret Wars for where Spider-Man will be. And it probably explains to people why he won't be in Doomsday. How they're going to do it, we'll see what happens in Doomsday, because there might be a post-credit scene for Secret Wars. So, I'm like I say, I'm always excited for Marvel projects. There's just a lot more doubt in them. But I doubted them before, and they proved me wrong, thankfully. So I trust the process, but hopefully they can understand. Like, they give a shit what my opinion means. But hopefully, I can justify why I'm a bit apprehensive.
And I think you're right. Based off that trailer that I saw today, I was a bit like, I don't know, but I'm still going to see it. And say,
a day one.
It's like if it's not an 8 or above, then
disappointing. I definitely would say we're going to have to go day one, because we know the internet's going to spoil.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So the 18th of December is typically it's a Friday. It's a Friday before Christmas.
Yeah, so that'll have to get seen.
Yeah, I think I have to book that Friday off, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh dear. How sad. Never mind.
What a shame.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Doomsday. That's coming. Anything else you want to add on to before we wrap up?
No, I think we covered everything, So, what were your thoughts on Brand New Day? I was going to call it something totally different then. Yeah, what were your thoughts on Brand New Day? Did you like it?
Brand New
Did
Spider?
You not like it? Yeah, I was going to say Brand New Home or something. Yeah. Leave a like, subscribe, and all that stuff.
And just to add on, what are your predictions for Avengers Doomsday? And which one are you going to see first, actually? That's my question.
Yes.
Is it Doom first, or Doomsday, or is it Doomsday, then Doom Part 3? Which order? I personally up for seeing Doomsday first, because if I'm disappointed, at least I know Doom might not, because that looks peak.
There's a lot of these.
There's a lot of these.
See you later.
Thank you.